Welcome to the Kitchen Dance, Season 1, Episode 1. Today what I'm going to do is dance around the kitchen for you. I thought I would do some dinner lunch preps where I cook or prep once and eat 2 or 3 times depending on how hungry Mr. Mark is. So Mark is my partner. It's just the two of us, and we do have 2 fur babies, Buddy, Ruby. Don't really have to take them into consideration too much, except for when I open these roast chooks later, they both will be wanting some because chicken is their favorite. So what I'm going to make today is meatballs. So I have some chicken and turkey mince, and I'm going to do some meatballs, and that way later on tonight or tomorrow we can either have meatball subs or sandwiches. Sorry, Ruby is laying right near the camera, of course, and she's making herself comfortable. All I see is her little bum. Yeah, so meatball subs, sandwiches. If it's cool enough, we can put the meatballs into a soup where we can have like a veggie meatball soup, which is really lovely for those warm days. Unfortunately, it's already a bit warm here. Or the cool days. I'll catch up to myself. Or you can do some zucchini noodles or pasta. So my biggest challenge to date is cooking something that both Mark and I will like and fill us up. Mark is very much bad chef, I'm very much good chef. Not so much bad chef, but he loves to use butter and oil and sugar, and I try and stay clear of it. So if he's in the kitchen, I know to really watch what I'm eating. If I'm cooking, I know because it's not going to be filling to him, as in heavy filling, he will eat more. So the healthier I cook, the more food he's actually eating. But it's a catch-22 because it's good. So what I'm learning these days is what to prepare so that he can get what he wants and needs, and I can do the same for myself without causing too much drama. I don't like fighting in the kitchen, and I definitely don't like doing the whole, oh, we have to have one milk, you change to my milk. That, to me, it's just silly. Like, if you like that particular milk, drink it. So we have full cream, full fat milk for Mark. That's what he likes. Cool, drink it. We have almond milk or almond juice or nut juice or whatever you want to call it for me, as well as Zimmel in the house for if someone comes through and they don't want either. Especially some lovely friends that we have down in Mackay. Always stocked up. So things like that, happy to, like, I don't like to fight, and I don't like to change people, and it's just easier to make everyone happy. Sometimes the kitchen, not a hard place to make people happy. However, doing something like meatballs, obviously, you know, if I cook up meatballs and I want to do zucchini noodles with it, I'll still make you know, a little pan pot, whatever you call it, of pasta for Mark, because that will fill him up, and he will look at the zucchini noodles and go, He will have some of it with his pasta, but he does want those carbs because if you know him, he's a roofer. He works out 8 hours a day. So he's lucky. He can come home and pick out, eat what he wants, and I can't. So I've learned a lot in the past few years is I can't keep up with him. I love food as much as him, but unless I'm working out 8 to 10 hours a day, you know, it's just not going to work for us. So cook once, eat 2 or 3 times depending on how hungry Mark is, and also have options available, healthier options for me and filling options for him. So with that said, I do currently have quinoa in my rice cooker. So it's so hot up here. I need to do this next week with the aircon on. Oh, hi Tamara, how are you? Thanks for rocking up and showing up. Yeah, so I'm cooking meatballs and just preparing some chickens for the week. I do love my roast chickens. easy peasy go-to. Everyone's happy. I can put it in a salad. Mark can put it in a wrap. That's kind of our go-to. So I have wraps in the fridge for him. I have cheese in the fridge for him, sliced cheese, because that's his thing, and he'll make up a wrap. Sometimes I can get him to add some greenery, some lettuce, so I do get a bag of that prepared so he can just go and take it, pop it on. And as long as he has sauce, he's happy, where I prefer to just kind of do up either a nice salad or frozen veggies. What are they called? The steam fresh veggies. A packet of steam fresh veggies, some pulled chicken, and mustard seeds. Perfect for me. Bit of a healthier option. So right now what I'm going to do is I'm going to start working on my meatballs. Like I said, I have in my rice cooker, I have quinoa in there. So I like to burn quinoa on the bottom of the pan if you try and do it the stovetop, because I'm not very patient. It only takes about 5 to 7 minutes on the stovetop. I will figure out how long it takes in the slow cooker this morning. I pop it in the slow cooker and I add one of my stock cubes. So I think I have beef stock in the freezer at the moment, and that just adds a little bit of flavor to it. So essentially quinoa can be, Mark thinks it's gross and tasteless. I like it. I love the texture of it. I like to leave it just that little bit on the crunchier side. So I'm beeping. Yeah, so it's personal preference. I think adding stock to it while you're making it, some salt, some pepper, you know, whatever you want to do to make it a little bit more flavorful, perfect. Do what works for you. And if someone in the house doesn't like it, you know, if Mark doesn't want to eat it, I'm not going to force him to, but I will give him another option, because I still want to make sure I'm giving myself priority in food, because sometimes when I make sure I'm giving him priority, I actually feel worse for it in the days down the track, because I'm not eating for me, and I'm actually eating the wrong foods, which make me less motivated, more weighed down, and not feeling fabulous. So you have to have that little bit of a give and take. Again, Ruby's just making herself comfy. I shoved her off of it's my standing desk she's on, and I've shoved her off of it twice already this morning, and she just wants to stay there, so we're gonna let her stay there. I already have my mustache going on. Lovely. Feeling pretty. Feeling pretty in the kitchen. So now, I love my Parmesan cheese. It's kind of my go-to cheese. If you were with me the last time while I was cooking, or one of the times before, I always have grated Parmesan cheese in the fridge. It's great to top things off, and it's just yummy. So, what I like to do is get a brick of it, cut it up, pop it in the thermo. Today I'm going to be using the Thermomix a bit, because I do want to do this a little quicker, and it's really hot in here, because next week it's going to be aircon for sure. That reminds me, I still need to turn on the oven. Holy hotness. I'm just going to use the Thermomix, even though everything I'm doing can be done without one. So even the rice cooker, you can do the quinoa on the stovetop. I don't want to have to sit there and stir it while I'm talking to you. Plain. Today I am grateful for fans. So it's my little grateful gratitude exercise. Thank you, Tamara, for telling me, giving me the idea the other day. She said every time a plane flies over, think of something you're grateful for. So thank you for the love. Every time I hear a plane now, no matter what, if I am live, if I'm just in the shower, if I'm outside, I just sit there and say what I'm grateful for. I have the most random looks from Mark, complete random looks, but I can tell soon enough he's going to be saying them too. I see Leah saying she's a fan. Sorry about the Mo sweat. So I'm just gonna do the Parmesan cheese quickly, just grate it. I took the whole brick and oops, now I've just covered the floor with some Parmesan cheese. So I always have my container in the fridge, and a chalkboard marker for myself. Kind of, yes! Woo! Small wins, keep going. The little things count though, the little things are such big things. Prepping, doing this kind of stuff, it takes time, and everyone says that they don't have time. However, I noticed that when I don't do this and take the time, Ruby's up, she's gonna jump. There she goes. Where I don't take the time to actually do this and have it sitting in the fridge, I will make the worst decisions, and it's partially because I'm mad at myself for not doing this, which means that it's almost like I'm disciplining myself for not doing the good, if that makes sense, where I will make the bad decisions. Anywho, back to the meatballs. So, in my meatballs, I want my quinoa to cook faster, but you'll get the hint, the drift of what I'm doing. So for my meatballs, I am taking 2 lots of mince, chicken and turkey. Each one should give me about 12 meatballs, but I'm going for a fridge full, and I might even stick some in the freezer for next week to see how much Mark likes them and I like them and all this kind of stuff. So I just thought about a recipe kind of just off the top of my head, something easy, something good. I'm sticking to leaner meats right now because with our holiday to the States coming up, I am going to be staying away from certain food if I can help it. I'm going to be making quite healthier choices now because I'm not going to over there. Like I've told myself, no more pizza in Australia. The next piece of pizza I'm having is a New York piece of pizza, and I can't wait. So, chicken and turkey. I like mixing the two. The last time I mixed the two, I asked Mark, oh, what are you eating? And he couldn't even tell the difference, and he's a meat man. If you know my partner at all, he will cook up like mega things of steak when we have friends and family over. He's just barbecue meat lover man. I'll get him on here one day to show you really fun recipes for steak and stuff because he's good at it, but I have to work up to getting him in front of the camera. Even though I know once he's here, he's gonna love it, and then he's gonna take over my kitchen dance, but that's okay. So I have my mince in there. I'm going to do 2 cloves of garlic. I wanted to be prepped a little bit more for today, but another airplane. I'm thankful for Buddy. Buddy's using his pool outside in the hot weather, and it's so cute. You can follow him on Instagram, Buddy underscore whatever it is, days with a Z. He's so cute. He's my little man. Ruby doesn't have a Instagram page because, well, she's not the favorite. I know you're not supposed to pick favorites for kids, but I love it when my friends get real with me, my friends who do have kids, and you know, they're not afraid to say, oh, right now it's this one, where you can ask Mark and I any day, like, Buddy's our favorite, but Ruby holds such a very special little spot in my heart. But she needs her nails clipped right now, so I don't want to go around her. So 2 cloves of garlic I'm just going to pop in. I'm also going to do 2 cups, maybe just under 2 cups of, no, 1 cup of Parmesan cheese, and I want to add 2 cups of quinoa once it's cold. So there's Parmesan cheese. Put this back in the fridge before it gets too warm. I'm gonna pop a carrot in there just to have a little bit of veg. I wish I had more carrot, but I don't. Some parsley. This would probably be nicer for you guys. Hey, I have this here and show you what I'm doing. I'll get there. This is for you. You guys can tell me, oh, I can't see that. It's all about learning, hey. It took me a while to learn to prep. It took me a while to learn what I liked to have when I prep. You can see, you know, you can, just 2 eggs. You can find anyone to follow online, and they'll be prepping things like chicken, rice, and broccoli. I can't think of anything more boring than chicken, rice, and broccoli. And sometimes you don't want that rice, or there's obviously something else that can be substituted. I love substituting quinoa. It's a ancient grain. It's full of fiber. It's full of protein. It's really good for you, and it's not used often anymore because of, why not? Because people can't say it. I've heard it pronounced every name in the book, and it's okay. I'm just happy that people are trying it. So that's the biggest thing for me, is pick 1 food a week maybe, and just give it a go. Research it. Everything is on YouTube. This will be on YouTube. So, don't be afraid to have a look around, find something that's intriguing to you, and try stuff, because if you don't try stuff, you don't know. I ruined quinoa the first 3 times I tried to make it. I even threw out one of my pots. It was just disgraceful. And it's only because I was so nervous that I had to get it perfect. Where now you can see I popped it in the rice cooker, and I really don't care. Whatever's going to be is going to be. So happy with that one. That's almost done as well, so perfect timing. I'm going to take some lemon. Ooh. I love fresh lemon, so I'm just going to zest it in. And you might be thinking, oh, but then it's a waste of a lemon. It's not a waste of a lemon. I love lemon water in the morning. My lemon water doesn't have to have, I think I just, nope. I was going to say, did I leave the sticker on? No, in my luck I may have, but, so after I zest a lemon, and even, I'm not cutting it up and I'm not using the juice today, but I want some of the lemon zest in there because it just brings that nice flavor to it. I'm hoping it's going to have that nice flavor, and I'm pretty sure it will because I've done something along this recipe before. I'll cut this up and put it in the freezer for my lemon wedges in the morning. Doesn't matter if there's no zest to it, but as long as there's still juice in it, why wouldn't it work? So it's not being wasteful. It's just getting some nice fresh goodness in, and then knowing what to do with the rest. And you can do that with any citrus. If you're grating up orange because you like that, you know, you can pop that in the freezer and use orange later in water or whatever you're having throughout the day to pimp your water, as I say. I love this. I wish you could smell this. Delicious. Just trying to use it all and get it all out of there. My thing I hate most is cleaning this. However, if you take just a couple extra seconds and, you know, work it out while it's not hard into it, voila. Kind of have to do the cleanup as you go. Then I'll just stick that in some water, which I already have a bowl of. I feel like I could sing to you, but I can't sing, so I have to stick to dancing. So, I have pretty much everything I want in here except for the quinoa. I have turkey, I have chicken, 2 cloves of garlic, 2 eggs, 1 cup of Parmesan cheese, some parsley, and some lemon zest. I'm now just going to mix that up. My Thermomix is not a new one. What I've done is I've gone online and I just one of the buy, swap, sell pages. I love having a Thermi, but I don't need a brand new shiny object in my kitchen. I always start, I have had a new one in doggy hair. I've had a new one in the past. I sold it before we went to the States one time when we left Mackay because it you know, there's a plane ticket. We came back and I did miss it a little bit, but we bought a second-hand one. Now, the thing with second-hand stuff is it doesn't always work. So my carrots are sitting there floating around, so I'm just going to be about 2 minutes trying to get it to go. Maybe not even 2 minutes, but that's what I'm doing. I'm fine having a second-hand one. I know sometimes it doesn't do exactly what I want it to do, but it loves me enough that it'll come back on and be happy for me later. So. And because I'm scared of burning my hands, that's how it comes out in the rice cooker. So I'm going to put about 2 cups in. Whew. Oh, it still hasn't worked. I probably should have just done the carrots, the garlic, the parsley, and the cheese, grated that up, and then mixed it with my hands. So I'm going to do this the hard way now. See how that got mixed up down there, so it's just a little bit. So if I hunt out my garlic and carrots, I can smell the garlic. So much better. So the original recipe calls for, oh, I've added carrot and there's about, I think, 9 meatballs, but I've added carrot, quinoa, a bit more cheese to it. So I'm going to say I'm hoping to make about 12 to 24 meatballs. This does need to cool. Oh, thermi jealousy right here. I'm telling you, a secondhand Thermomix. People want to upgrade to the be-all end-all biggest best thermies lately. You don't need one. Like the original one, yes, you have to like turn it on yourself and add stuff. No matter what, a secondhand one, give it a go. See if you like it. I don't use it every day or anything, but I definitely use it at least once or maybe twice a week. If I start making bread again, I'd probably use it a bit more, but secondhand stuff. Our juicer, we started out with a secondhand juicer. We made juice all the time. We upgraded. We're still making juice consistently, so not a bad purchase to upgrade, but I wouldn't recommend going out and buying the be-all end-all kitchen appliance just because you've seen it used. I'm really an advocate for getting what's going to work for you. So if you try stuff out, ask friends to borrow stuff. Get together, cook with friends if they have some gadgets and you have some gadgets. It's a great way to spend, you know, an afternoon and then boom, food for the family. So always try before you buy if you can get my gist. Having the thermi is great, but like I said, I don't use it all the time, probably just once a week. So I've made, it was a bit like, it was about 1 cup of quinoa, not cooked. This is stuck to the bottom of the rice cooker too. Go figure. I'm going for about 2 cups quinoa. Now cooked, and I still have a whole heap left over. So some other things that I can do with this quinoa, I like to do like hash browns kind of thing. With quinoa, just add some onion, get a pan nice and hot, and kind of put it into patties, and I like the little bits of charcoal on it. So that's something I can do with eggs and spinach for breakfast if I have time. You can make little pizza cups as well. I've done with extra quinoa. The little rice container or the little cheese containers, those terracotta pots. I'll put like a layer of quinoa, a couple tomatoes, some couple pieces of pepperoni, and then some more veggies, and keep layering it for like a little pizza veggie pot, and then cook that. Some cheese on top. Delicious. Now, just gonna stir this all together. Smells good. I can smell the lemon and the garlic. And obviously, if you're not big lemon garlic fans, put in what you like. You know, you can chop up onion and capsicum and stuff to get some veggies in there that the family doesn't or wouldn't normally eat. I can hide anything in mince, and Mark doesn't notice till after the fact. I try not to make him ask me what I cook, because then I don't have to tell him, but I tell him. Where then next time, if I make it, he gets hesitant to try it because he knows there's good stuff in there. Boy brain. So, all I'm going to do now is just roll me some meatballs. I am going to put them in the oven. I'm not going to cook them on the stove in oil. I want to coat them with just a little bit of tomato paste and oil. So I'm going to mix that up, coat them with that, and pop them in the oven for about maybe 20 minutes. Putting them in the oven, I think it's easier for food prep because, yes, this is the time-consuming part, is making, you know, getting them all nice and kind of round, which to me they don't have to be perfect, so I'm not going to sit here trying to make them perfect, but once they're in the oven, they're in the oven, and easy as. If I don't want to make it all up right now, I can put the rest of the mince in the freezer and pop it out when the time is right and make them up and cook them then. So the mince will probably last in there for, I'd say about, it's usually 3 months for meat, but I don't like to keep stuff in there more than kind of a month because then I forget about it, and I find it just a little bit wasteful as well. So I don't keep much stuff in my fridge. Around cyclone season I keep more stuff in my pantry, but I like to have a pretty empty fridge because when I am in the mood, I do my shopping once a week, and I like to, if something comes to mind, I like to be able to just get what I want, cook it up, and be happy as. So I just am putting this on baking paper, and 3, 6, 9, so that's 12 of them. That was about half of it, so I'm thinking probably around that 24 meatballs from that, which will be good. They're good size, about golf ball size. to remember to dance and not sing. So some tomato paste. I like to keep this in the fridge. I always have something on stock like that. One of Mark's favorite go-to snack/dinner when A, there's nothing in the fridge, and B, he's very peckish at night, but doesn't, when he really goes for a lot of the sweets, I'll be like, hey, do you want me to make you a puff pastry pizza? Some cheese, tomato paste on puff pastry. It was our thing a while ago. I think I was eating too much of it, but it is delicious, but it's a sometimes food, so we brought it back to sometimes, but it's always good to have the ingredients on hand at home. So it is a kind of staple for us. So these days I'm prepping about this was the little terracotta thing I was talking about to make a little pizza, and it's perfect. Perfect portion size. So I'm just going to do about 1 tablespoon olive oil. This is going to go everywhere. There we go. And a tablespoon tomato paste. I love my tiny little whisk. Ah, the little things in life. I'm just going to mix that as best as it can. I love my little whisk. Have fun things around the kitchen that's going to make you cook and prep as well. If it's boring and you don't have something that's going to light you up a little bit, it's going to stay that way. Where if you hate your kitchen and there's really nothing you can do about it, it's where you are. The house before this, when we moved up to Kansas, I hated my kitchen. I cried when I walked in and saw it. It was after like all night of driving as well, but it became okay, but I really didn't like it, and I had to do little things around it that just made it more me. I had to put things out and about so that I'd use them. I tried to take up as much counter space as I could so I wouldn't see this horrible red counter. I wouldn't go live in that house at all. And yeah, like you have to figure out what will work for you. Eventually I started to love the kitchen because I had everything in a place that worked. But like all my little gadgets, like my little whisk, it was something I bought just to like brighten my day in the kitchen. $1 or $2 from Kmart. Not the best to spend money all the time, but if it brings a little bit of happiness here and there, why not? So I'm just going to paint this paste oil on my little meatballs, tucked up under. They're not really meatballs, they're more little meaty clumps of joy and deliciousness. The sad thing is this does take that little bit of time, where I know now Mark is going to love these, and it's going to be that love that he's going to pop them in his mouth like within 5 seconds, have 5 of them, and I'm going to be like, do you know how long it took me to cook that? And he's going to be like, oh, make more. And I'm going to be like, no. That's a typical night. He'll love it, he'll request it more, and I'll just be like, nope. I do that with dumplings. I do make homemade dumplings. I got a lovely recipe off a friend, her family's recipe, and I will spend hours and hours making dumplings, and he will just eat them, not even by the spoonful. He'll just shove a whole bowl down, and like wrapping them all up takes so much time. Yeah, gotta love him. Gotta love him. I do love him. I do love him. Don't tell yourself that, Kelly. I do love him. You do love him. I do. He's stuck with me. These are looking good. So this will just, the oil and the paste will just kind of coat for that nice meatball texture on the outside, and then all the goodness will still be inside. Probably a bit too much on some, probably not enough on others, but all in all, it's a good day. Progress, not perfection. So, there we go. Not going to do all of them right now, because I want you to see. There we go. And for about 20 minutes, I'm going to let those bake. Leah's just said, you're emulsifying. The word we looked up last time. I did it on purpose just to see if you'd catch on. So the other thing I'm going to prep for the week is some roast chicken. Look at how easy this is. So I bought these this morning. I love my Willie's chickens. Cole's chickens are just as good. I keep the skin on and I pretty much just pull it so it's kind of shredded. Here comes Ruby. Did you hear her? No. No. See, I have to yell at my kids too. Here comes Bud as well. He's up. Man, as soon as these bags get open at our house, if Mark was even in earshot, he'd be like in the house as well if I said the C word. But pretty much I'm just going to shred this, and it's just going to be in the fridge cold. As long as there's sauces for Mark, and I have some, I like mustard seeds, whole mustard seeds right now, to just kind of stir into it. And that's 2 go-to meals. The 2 chickens will last us. Mark usually eats about a chicken every day, but if he comes home and there's just chicken for lunch and dinner, he'll just dig right in. Where if I have something different like the meatballs for dinner, he'll probably have maybe half to 3/4 of a chicken, the rest for me. So this is probably 2 meals, possibly 3 if I say that I'd like lunch. I also have the meatballs there because it's something easy I can go to for lunch and something that he can have as much or as little as he wants. I can have them with some more quinoa. I can do up zucchini noodles, like I said before. We can do soups. If only my kids would take no so easily. So do the kids, will they just keep eating, or? Oh, you mean Ruby not jumping up? She's staring at me. I would love to show you her right now. She looks so nice. But little does she remember that I remember she bit me last night. She love bites me. She doesn't do it to Mark. Mark says I'm too rough with her, but I treat her the same as I treat Bud, because I have renamed her Puppy. Bud's right behind me too. I'd love, cameraman, please bring around the camera to show my gorgeous kids. She's gonna jump soon. I really just want to throw her a piece of chicken so she doesn't jump, but I don't want to be judged. But anyways, this is meal 2. I like to prep stuff where I still have choice. So sometimes, yeah, I still have to do a little bit to have lunch or something. This is pretty much all I'll prep for the rest of the week. We're probably going out to dinner with some friends tomorrow. Tonight we'll do chicken. Mark gets home from work at like 3, anywhere from 3 to 5, so he will eat when he gets home. Something, he says small, but let's face it, it's not small. So if he has like the chicken when he comes home in a nice wrap, try and get some salad on there, that's my goal, but sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. I'm happy with sometimes rather than never. And I'll probably have a chicken quinoa salad. I have some celery and cherry tomatoes in the fridge, so I'll chop up celery and tomatoes and pop some chicken in it with some quinoa, maybe some honey mustard, or not honey mustard. I can't even see you now because right in my face. But anyways, yeah, so I think I'm probably going to let you go. I'm going to finish just popping my chicken in a container. I noticed that if you shred it right away, it will get eaten. If I leave it whole where you kind of have to pick at it, people will go for the easier option. So, meaning Mark and I like to do it right away because then it's just there and it's ready. We can make our own thing with it. I don't like to prep up full meals because, like I've been saying all day, Mark and I eat completely different stuff. It took me a while to learn that, and it took me a while to realize that it's okay if I don't eat the same as him, and it's okay if he doesn't eat the same as me. We are two people, but just because it's the two of us, we can still be happy with the food we're eating, and it's not, we have to eat the same thing. It's just we have to keep each other in mind, and I think I do that just a little bit nicer because he's making mushrooms lately with brown sugar on them. They taste fantastic, but no, I don't want to be eating that. I would prefer not to have sugar in the house. Mark became a really big tea drinker over winter, and that was the first time in probably a year and a half that we bought sugar. He uses caramel for his coffee. I do have my coffee creamers, hazelnut creamers. They're my treat. I'm not gonna give up coffee. Even when I'm being quite healthy, my coffee is still my okay. I can work my meals around it. My coffee is pretty much my morning tea. I don't have more than one coffee a day, and I don't start my day with coffee. I definitely start my day with all my water so that I'm hydrated, so when I do have the coffee, it doesn't affect me too much and make me shake, because I'm just one of those people that caffeine does that to me. I will post photos later of the meatballs, and yeah, they still have 14 minutes to go, so I don't want to keep you guys too long. What time is it? I've been going for about 45 minutes. So obviously the dinner prep, with the quinoa and stuff, it takes a little bit, you know, to do all the meatballs, to make them up and get them in the oven for 20 minutes, probably, and clean up. I'm guessing, you know, for this one, it's probably going to do about 3 hours for me, but it'd be dinner all week if we did chicken and meatballs. I could probably get a good 4 days out of these meals with soups, sandwiches, wraps, pasta, zucchini pasta. You can do egg noodle pasta. Just go like you're going to make an omelet on the stove top. You know, pop the omelet out where it's nice and round, cut it up into strips. There's your egg noodles, something really simple and easy that you can do to give your family something else to try. So with that being said, I think I'm going to wash my hands, turn off my live. Whew, I am sweating. I will will tell you guys how long it takes me to do everything. I was hoping this would be a little bit quicker. I think what has stumped me today is that it's my first time doing the meatballs, but I really just want meatballs where even if I want a snack during the day, if the meatballs are in the fridge without anything else around them, I can have a meatball instead, so it's a nice protein bite instead of like date loaf for my fridge I haven't done yet. So with that being said, I'm going to go. I've just gotten I don't know if you guys can see me or not. However, I'm gonna go. I don't know what's just happened with my phone, but I went down to 15% battery. So I love you and I will talk to you soon.